So guys, I'm gonna get real with you today. Kind of pumped out a few training videos already, which is great, and you know, showing a little bit of kind of how I like to train and a little bit of what I have to eat and stuff like that. But I feel like I owe it to you guys to kind of give you a little bit of an insight to who I actually am, and it's you know, it's pretty simple, really. You know, I've always been a type of guy who has always grown up in sports. You know, you give me a footy, I kick the shit out of it. You give me a soccer ball, kick the shit out of it. You know, you put me in any kind of athletic sport and I would just gravitate towards it and just pick it up, and I'd be good at it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was, you know, any kind of sport that I tried, I was good at it straight away. I was fast, I was quick, I was agile, and especially growing up through school. You know, I was always into martial arts, and from a young age, like I started Taekwondo when I was, I think, 9 years old is when I first started learning Taekwondo. Played football, you know, since under 8s, sorry. Shit, that was a long time ago. So when I mean football, I mean rugby league. Like, I was the type of kid when I was in school, and the athletics day, man, I did everything. I did the 100-meter sprint, the 200-meter sprint, gave that 400-meter sprint a go, but my cardio wasn't that good, so I always didn't do too well in that. You know, shot put, javelin, discus, high jump, long jump, you know, anything I could do that was athletic, I would do it. I absolutely loved it. And I was always obsessed with, you know, muscles and being strong. You know, even as a kid, like my idols, you know, I'm 29 now. My idols growing up were, you know, guys like Van Damme, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Lee, my number one. He was my hero as a child, like my whole childhood growing up. I had every documentary on Bruce Lee, read every single book. He was my absolute idol. He was like the person I aspired to be when I got older. His philosophy on life, everything. So it was like, I always was stuck in that, you know, kind of, do I want to be, you know, I guess I wasn't stuck. I wanted to be a martial artist, and I wanted to look like those guys. I wanted to be big, I wanted to be strong, I wanted to be muscular, I wanted to be ripped. So, you know, I always used to just train, and I would just play sport, and I would just do a little bit of everything. And that's kind of how it led me to, you know, getting into bodybuilding and nutrition and stuff like that, because there was a certain age where I was, you know, I just wasn't seeing as much muscle growth as what I wanted to. You know, I was so athletic and I was quick and I was fast, but I just didn't have that, you know, bodybuilder look yet. That's when I kind of started getting into, you know, paying a lot more attention to bodybuilding itself, and started looking up to guys like Ronnie Coleman, and his philosophy on training was just like, whatever he's doing, I'm doing. The only thing was, I realized it started taking me away from, you know, my Thai boxing and kickboxing, because it was, you know, it was really hard to do both. You know, doing my Thai boxing, like daily, weekly, whenever I could fit it in and around my weight training sessions, but I noticed that man, my elbows, like my joints, everything just started to bust out of me. And it really, really sucks. So I kind of had to make the decision. I was like, okay, we're gonna have to put the kickboxing on hold for a little while, and we're just gonna have to focus on getting big. I remember doing my first bodybuilding show, and you know, I was really proud of what I achieved in such, you know, like, I think I lifted for 2 years before I jumped on stage for the first time. I was really happy with the way I looked, but what I wanted to touch on was, you know, I never really had a problem with, you know, body composition or body fat. I was always very, very lean. I was actually skinny as a kid, and then as I started to lift and get bigger, I always stayed relatively lean. And I never ever had a problem with weight until I actually competed and came out of that show. And for the first time ever, I was chubby. It actually made me really unmotivated for a long time. And it made me pay a lot more attention to what goes on inside the body. What's the psychology behind nutrition, training, dieting, being lean, being overweight? You know, how does that all work? And You know, and then I guess that was the beginning of the journey of the next step for me, when I started to, you know, really try to discover what it is that I wanted, you know, where I fitted in terms of, am I a bodybuilder or am I an athlete, am I a physique guy? One thing that I really missed, although like bodybuilding, it just gave me, I was like, it was solitude, I was dedicated, I just came in and I grinded it out day in, day out, achieved the results that I'm really happy with, that I'm proud of that I achieved today. But I honestly, I felt lost. There were some days in there where I was just like, you know, is this it? I really missed my sports, you know. So I started, you know, getting back into footy again. I started playing touch. For me, trying to find balance was the biggest thing. You know, really listening to my body and understanding how long do I need to rest before I do a high volume deadlift session in order for me to be able to go and, you know, hit some pads or do some sprint training. And then the key factor was make sure I stayed on top of my stretching, mobility, and then I was able to pull it in all together. As I was saying before, I never ever had a problem with, you know, with body weight, with body fat, until after my first bodybuilding show. And that was when I realized, like, holy shit, your body can actually really mess you up if you're in a starvation mode for a long period of time. After the show, all I wanted to do was eat anything but clean. I was craving burgers and donuts, and pretty much I had like the whole list of things that I wanted to eat straight after my show. Didn't even think about it. I was like, yep, just can't wait to get fat. And I think that's the, you know, mentality that a lot of people have when they're coming into bodybuilding shows, when they're first starting out as amateurs. After my, you know, second or third bodybuilding show, I realized that, you know, I'm kind of really sick of this. Like, I look really good on stage, and then I just look horrible for the rest of the year. So I had to go back to my, you know, my upbringing. Like, I never had a problem with weight. I was always lean my whole life, and I used to eat whatever that I wanted to. So what's changed? Now I'm eating clean, and now I'm overweight. So that's when I started looking into flexible dieting, if it fits your macros and stuff like that, and I realized, I was like, holy shit, I can actually eat whatever I want, whenever I want. I just have to make it fit my lifestyle. And that's the biggest thing for me now, guys, is eating the foods that I love to eat. Okay, like, I'm not shy to say it. Like, I'll eat ice cream, I'll eat chocolate bars, I'll eat burgers. Like, I absolutely love burgers. I used to hate when my mum would cook me some food and I'd be like, sorry mum, it's not on my diet plan, I can't eat it. You know, that is the worst kind of mentality to have. And to say that to your mum, like, she's just cooked you a really nice feed and you can't eat it, like, I have to imagine, like, that's not a lifestyle I want to live. You know, I want to be like, hell yeah, mum, I love your cooking, I miss it, and I cannot wait to go into that. Now I actually know a lot more about nutrition, and once you start to learn, you know, guys, there's so much information out there for you to learn flexible dieting if it fits your macros. You just got to get out there and just pay a little bit more attention to what you put into your body, you know? Like, the hardest way isn't always the best way. You know, a lot of us like to go, yeah, if it's not hard, then it's not going to work. You know, that is bullshit. Like, at the end of the day, what's going to work for you is what you can stick to. And for me, having a burger, you know, a couple times a week, figuring out just what's in that burger, or going to Grilled or something like that and finding out what the macros are, and me enjoying that burger, you know, every couple of days, and having some yogurt and some ice cream here and there, it makes it so much more sustainable as a lifestyle. I love hanging out with friends, and I love going out for burgers, and I love going out on day trips, and sometimes you just get sick of carrying around, you know, a cold container full of dry rice and dry chicken and broccoli. Like, man, who the hell wants to do that? How to live a flexible lifestyle, how to recharge, so you can find that inner peace within yourself and find that balance, because that is the key to actually being healthy. People think being healthy just means you train, you go to gym, you do your cardio, you eat your chicken and broccoli. Absolutely not. My view on being healthy is balance. Okay, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy soul. If I go to the gym, I'm training my body, I'm burning calories, I'm trying to build muscle, I'm trying to stay fit, you know, and then I'm just gonna use food to kind of fuel that. And there is no such thing as bad food, you know. There's bad quantities of food, but everything in moderation is not bad for you. Having that healthy view on nutrition, a healthy view on food, it's just knowing that you can have a little bit of everything you want. Don't starve yourself or classify a certain food group as horrible and it's going to make you fat as soon as you touch it, and then all of a sudden just craving that certain food group, and then all you do is overeat on it, and then you obviously, that's the unhealthy side of things when you can't control yourself. But when you learn to adopt a little bit of everything that you enjoy into your life every single day, you know, you don't crave it. It's not hard for you to go, okay, I don't feel like that today. And I think that's the most important thing. So many things in life that will congest us. It's, you know, things like your work, relationships, you know, friendships, things you need to give back to yourself. And that's why I've come out to Byron Bay today, to get to the water, go for a swim, just kind of be by myself for a day and relax. The moment I got here, I felt better already. As soon as I saw that water and that sun just kind of arising over the ocean, I was like, yeah, this was a good idea. I needed to do this. Is exactly what I needed to do today. Absorb some vitamin D and kind of have a bit of a chat with you guys. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say for now. Right now I'm going to go for a swim because it's getting really, really hot now. If you can't tell, I'm starting to sweat. So, and guess what, guys? This is actually winter at the moment, believe it or not. So this is a great thing about Queensland. Actually, I'm actually technically in New South Wales right now. I've just crossed over the border to Byron Bay, but it might as well be Queensland because it's still just as warm here. And the energy in this part of the world is absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to go and jump in the water, tap into a little bit of that energy and recharge my batteries. So